LEGO fans, it's been a while since I've done a Star Wars kit, and today we're bringing it back with Poe Dameron's X-Wing Fighter. Kit number 75273 at 761 pieces, and simply, this should be a fun little play kit, and I'm definitely in the mood for some playtime action. So, let's get this thing unboxed, get this build underway, so I can start playing with Poe Dameron's X-Wing Fighter. Way back in 1999, LEGO's partnership with Star Wars got off the ground with the release of their first set, an X-Wing fighter. And with the Star Wars universe being as vast as it is, it's not surprising that many variations of the ship exist. And as such, LEGO has released many models over the years. In this case, we have Poe's X-Wing, with the sequel trilogy design, the Episode 9 paint job, and all the classic elements that make up the Rebels X-Wing fighter. As such, this ship has a long, slender body, with a cockpit roughly halfway down its length, a spot for the droid just behind that, and, right in the back, the controls for the X-foils, which we'll get back to in a minute. While in cruising mode, with the X-foils closed, we have one wing on either side of the ship, each one having a set of engines, with a large air intake in the front, which is split into two engines that protrude out the back of the ship. And at the tips of the two wings, we have the quad blasters. Unfortunately, in this variant of the X-wing, the quad blasters are not met with 4 spring-mounted launchers, right? You only have 2 on the bottom, which I find to be a little disappointing. Coming back to the cockpit, first, on either side, we have a pair of stud shooters, which don't represent anything that I'm aware of on the quote-unquote real X-Wing, but seem to be pretty common equipment across the LEGO X-Wing kits. Moving to the interior, right in the back, we've got a convenient little clip, where you can store Poe's weapon while he is in flight. Flipping around to the other side, we can see this cockpit is very instrument panel heavy, with one on either side, a third in the front, and, of course, the flight stick. With the basics covered, it's now time to take off, and once you're in flight, you're going to fold up that front load landing gear to give the ship a much more aerodynamic look. And now that we're in flight, we can separate the X-foils. By pushing forward the X-foils control, you split each wing into 2, locking the X-foils into attack position. And they easily snap back into position, either by pulling the control back, or on the bottom side of the ship, you can press this little release button. Finally, this kit comes with one little accessory, a ladder for Poe to climb up into the cockpit. I guess that's kind of appropriate, but honestly, that's just going to go right in the parts bin. And now to the minifigures, where we've got Poe Dameron with this pretty cool looking flight helmet, Janna with her bow and arrow and some pretty wicked hair, a Knight of Ren with his dark evil mask, and a classic R2-D2. It's pretty clear to me that this kit was made to be played with, I mean, I hold it in my hand, it's very comfortable, it's easy to grip, and it just begs to be flown around. It's kind of hard to resist. As a display piece, I don't find this kit has all that much appeal. First of all, it's orange, and if you compare it to other Star Wars kits out there, it just won't really fit in with them. It kind of sticks out. Secondly, it just doesn't have that level of detail and the polishing with the smooth surfaces that you find on many of the more iconic kits out there. But that's not to say this has no display appeal at all. I could definitely see how it would work in a variety of situations. First of all, if you're a Junior Lego fan, I mean, X-Wings are cool, so you're gonna pretty much love to have this in your room. Or, it's pretty small and lightweight, so if you have a bunch of ships hanging from the ceiling, that's also gonna be pretty great. I mean, there's definitely options here, just not really ones that I'm interested in. And as for the parts to reuse, there's a pretty healthy assortment in here. A nice healthy assortment of medium to large pieces, a cool little cockpit glass, and a small number of finishing detail pieces, but not too many. So I would say this kit is very well suited for the Junior Lego fan out there. Someone who's going to play with it, have some fun, and eventually take it apart to make something else. And to my final thought, to the people out there who I've seen complaining about another X-Wing kit, sure, there's a lot of similarities between this one and previous models. The build changes a little bit, but not a whole lot, and that's fine in and of itself because each X-Wing kit comes out for only a little while, and then it's discontinued, it gets harder to find, gets more expensive, and what Junior Lego fan wouldn't want to have an X-Wing in their collection? So by releasing X-Wings every now and again, we can ensure that at most times there's going to be an affordable X-Wing available to purchase.